Welcome to Bear News. I'm Andrea Grajeda. Former Johnstown Police Department commander was arrested for stalking Thursday, February 3rd. Former Commander Aaron Sanchez was fired in September. Fox 31 said the alleged stalking took place from December 2019 to July 2021. Fox 31 also says that the woman who was stalked said that Sanchez collected information about her home, 3 children, and even her children's extracurriculars. At the bond hearing, Sanchez's attorney called the case a personal grudge match between Sanchez and the Johnstown Police Chief Brian Phillips. As of February 8th at 5 p.m., the town of Johnstown has not made any comments about the arrest. Sanchez is currently out on a $50,000 personal recognizance bond, which is due back in court Wednesday, March 30th. Trouble in paradise doesn't seem to be trouble anymore. Back in October, news broke about the issues happening at the University Flats housing apartments. From green pools to mold to below-par management, the flats did not live up to the residents' expectations. However, it seems as though most of the issues have been fixed. The apartments now have a new management team that seems to be more communicative to the residents. More emails are being sent about updates to the flats, and they generally seem more responsive to problems. Even though things have gotten better, there are still some recurring problems. In October, residents faced multiple utility outages. The power, Wi-Fi, and water all shut off at different times without warning, and the trash would sometimes not be picked up for weeks. This seems to still be an issue. Resident Madison Jenkins spoke about how the power continued to turn off without warning.
But then I came back around 1 in the morning, and I took a shower, and when I got out of the shower, the lights went off immediately, and it was pretty cold outside. It was 2 degrees I think, and it didn't come on until 5:30 again, and then it was off again until 7, and then it didn't come back on from 7 until 9, and we had no Wi-Fi.
There also seemed to be a slow response when cleaning the snow during the first snowstorm. Flat residents Angela Ramirez said that the parking lot was icy for many days after the first storm.
The first snow we had, it did take them a little while to get stuff out of the way. Because when Maddie would walk from her apartment to my apartment, she would slip and fall and die at least 3 times.
It does seem like the University Flats has fixed a majority of the problems that residents were concerned about. Resident Hannah Atlan believes that these changes came at the perfect time.
It's been a lot better. And we all renewed our leases, so hopefully it stays really good.
While residents seem to gloom over the future of the flats in October, now there is hope that it'll only get better. This week, one of our reporters went to Michener Library to see the new art exhibit.
Good afternoon, I am Ashley Hyatt. Michener Library has galleries year-round that showcase the artistic talents of the college. From January 24th to March 4th, the Mary Michener Gallery will be showing the exhibit titled Reflecting Back, Looking Forward. According to the UNC Library website, this exhibit highlights the creative works of UNC students as they reflect back on their experiences through the COVID-19 pandemic and look forward to the future. The gallery is full of mixed media, from paintings on canvas, pottery, fashion design, and photography. The exhibit is free and open to the public. Jules Grieve, a homeschooling mother of 3, brought her kids to the library for books. She didn't expect their level of excitement for the exhibit, however.
Meeting different artists and learning what they're doing and tools that they're using is great for me to take home and to see what they learned from here and what's in their mind and heart to create themselves.
All 3 kids had their own favorite piece and had much to say about them.
Because he's a human that can answer anything.
Kids' observations are often not what we might think.
I love it real much. It's like a beautiful dress.
His sister has a much different observation. Not all kids can fully express their love for art. Although these pieces have been created by UNC students, the appreciation for their art goes farther than the university. Which art piece was your favorite? Let us know on our Instagram, Bear News UNCO.
Thank you, Ashley, for showing us around the gallery. Last week, we talked about some books you should read during Black Heritage Month. Now, we want to showcase some movies that are coming out that will celebrate Black culture. According to Ebony Magazine, there are at least 10 film moviegoers should watch that are coming to this year's Sundance Film Festival. Our top 3 picks that you should go see are 892, Alice, and Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul. 892, written and directed by Abby Darmas Us Corbin, and co-written by Kwame Kwa Armah, follows the real-life events of Marine Corps veteran Brian Brown Easley. Alice, written and directed by Kristen Verlinden in her directorial debut, follows an enslaved woman on a plantation as she realizes that she is actually in a completely different decade. Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul, written, directed, and produced by Adam Ah Ibo in her directorial debut, follows a pastor and his wife as they try to rebuild their congregation after a major scandal. Now, these are just some of the films you could watch in 2022. To read the full article, visit the link on the screen. Tune in to Bear News to learn more about different artists during Black Heritage Month. Happy Lunar New Year, UNC! This month marks the beginning of the Year of the Tiger. To celebrate, the Asian Pacific American Student Services is hosting a Lunar New Year celebration this upcoming Saturday. A children's carnival, a Dumsum buffet will be followed by a lion dance performance. The event will take place in the Campus Commons multipurpose room, and the doors open at 12:30. If you're interested, register for the celebration using the link on the screen. Coming up, a recap of the UNC women's and men's basketball games. Up next is Hunter with sports. So, Hunter, I heard that UNC women's basketball had a pretty good week, but what did the rest of UNC do?
Yeah, Andre, it's been a great week for UNC sports, especially women's basketball, who got some big-time offensive performances to go along with the #1 ranked defense in the Big Sky. But we begin our recap with UNC hockey hosting their final home game of the regular season against CU. The Bears took time before the game to honor seniors Cade Boring and Mitch Porter, thanking them for all of their contributions over the last 4 years. Early on, the Bears create some quality scoring chances but are unable to capitalize and trail 1-0 after the first period. In the second, the Bears are on the power play and they get even with Cade Boring following his own shot to tie the game at 1. But the Bears will get another power play and Brendan Meyer feeds Lathan Olson and he gives the Bears a 1-goal lead. The Bears still lead in the third period, but a turnover leads to a CU breakaway and a chance for the Buffs to even things up, but Quentin Reynolds makes this huge stop to preserve the lead for UNC. Reynolds made 21 saves, and the Bears kept the Buffs scoreless in the last 2 periods to capture a 2-1 win. The Bears begin postseason play with 2 home games at the Greeley Ice House. The games are scheduled for Friday and Saturday with puck drops set for 8:30 p.m. for both games. Moving on to basketball, we've got highlights from a doubleheader at the Bank of Colorado Arena. That's right, 2 basketball games in 1 day. I love it, because with more sports means more entertainment. We start with women's basketball taking on Portland State, and the Bears go to the paint early with Kirsten Harding finishing at the rim for the and 1. Later on, the Vikings try to pass in, but Jaden Galloway says nope and finishes at the rim. Then the Bears look to get going from deep, and Michaela Eisenbart does that not only with 1, but 2 consecutive threes, burying this one from downtown. Allie Downing decides to join in and swishes a 3-pointer of her own. Then the Bears bench decides to join in, and J.C. Gorsman does that with this layup. And then Alexis Chapman goes in and drives hard for the layup and 1. The Bears finish with 4 players in double figures as they win in dominant fashion, 93-45. Here's head coach Christian Matteo after the game on the Bears' impressive performance.
Yeah, I think you don't always get these kind of games where everybody's clicking on all cylinders, the ball's going through the hoop. It felt like One is we made a few adjustments from the first time we played them, and because they play a unique style, and I thought that really helped our girls just flow a little bit better offensively. But of course, they had to knock down the shots, and Michaela's threes early on when she was going on her run, and then Sabine making some of her shots. It just started. We wanted to be the more aggressive team.
The Bears look to keep the offense rolling as they play at home tonight against red-hot Sacramento State with tip-off at 6 p.m. Now let's move on to the second matchup with the men's team taking on Northern Arizona. In the early going, the Bears turn to Dalen Kunch, which is a good strategy because he can hit the three-point shot and then post up and hit this nice fadeaway. Then Matt Johnson finds Bodie Hume for the open three, and he pulls up and drills it. Then Dalen Kunch is in transition, and he charges right at the big man and banks that one in. But then the Bears go back to Bodie, and he runs in, steps into it, and banks it in. Then he comes right back down and drives in, and watch this, boom, right back in. Then Dalen Kunch driving in hard, and he makes that for the and one. Kunch and Hume would finish in double figures as the Bears wrap up their doubleheader with an 82-60 win. The men's team hits the road tonight as they take on Sacramento State with tip-off scheduled for 8 p.m. Mountain Time. That game will be available to stream on ESPN+.
All right. I know we're all excited to see what happens at the men's game tonight. Are you going to be watching on ESPN+?
Oh, absolutely, Andrea. I love to watch men's basketball on a Thursday night.
Okay. Those who dislike the cold weather will have something to look forward to this weekend. More about the weather when we come back.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources, call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Groundhog's Day just passed. So tell me, Angel, why are we entrusting a groundhog with the weather?
I would love to tell you, Andrea, but unfortunately I am not a part of the inner circle and I don't speak groundhogese. The groundhog may have called for 6 more weeks of winter, but Greeley will get a little taste of spring this weekend as the snow begins to melt. Thursday, we'll see partly cloudy skies with the high around 52 degrees with a light wind in the afternoon before dropping to the mid-20s at night. Friday sees more cloud cover with a 20% chance of snow flurries around noon, with the temperature lowering to 16 degrees as the sun goes down. The weekend gets going on Saturday with mostly sunny skies with a high of 44 with light wind leading into Sunday as the temperature jumps to around 52 degrees. These conditions should continue into next week as we await the next downpour of winter snow.
Personally, I'm looking forward to more snow, so I'll make sure not to pack away my winter clothes just yet. Still to come, the grand opening of a new barbecue restaurant in Greeley.
Before I started at Seattle, it was disorganized.
My lessons were the same all the time.
I think I've become much more strategic about drawing on students' prior experience in order to enhance their learning.
Making sure that my standards as a professor were very high, but also enabling students to be successful in my class with a variety of strategies.
Quite frankly, one of the most important to me has been my addressing the diversity, equity, inclusion issues.
I think definitely keeping in mind that I need to engage the students in what I'm teaching. I feel like students feel more enthusiastic about the class, and when they come more, they're going to do better.
I think the most valuable thing that I've gotten out of CEDL has been kind of the community of support.
It was actually knowing that every single semester I need to engage something that makes me a better teacher.
CEDL is a great way to enhance your life, especially if you're struggling with certain areas.
So, Robin, we heard that you're starting to rate people's playlists. So, what do you think about my playlist called Literally Just Mambo Number 5, where it's quite literally just Mambo Number 5 about 8 times?
Well, Andrea, I'll just say it's a good thing UNC's counseling center is free. Now, if there's one thing I want to do with this segment, it's to introduce great music to as many new ears as I can, so I try to stay positive. But our very own director of content, Ashley Hayek, said that she wanted feedback on her music taste. So yesterday, I listened to some songs from a playlist she sent me for our very first episode of Rating Your Playlists.
Hello everyone, it's me, Robin, from a day ago. Thanks, Robin, for introducing me. I'm backstage at the Bear News studio. Essentially what I want to do for the Rate Your Playlist, I'm going to put it all on shuffle and then listen to 5 songs from it. And then I'm going to say whether I like or don't like each of the 5 songs, and then based on that, give it a score out of 5. Let's listen to the first song, already have it on shuffle. That was a pretty dope, like, dream pop surf sort of thing. There was a little bit of a 60s throwback in there. I like that. You're 1 for 1, Ashley. Next song is... Ashley is freaking out right now when I said that, so I think that means this is going to be a good one. Or a bad one, we'll see. That was dope as frick. It felt like I wanted to get up and dance, but I couldn't because I'm sitting in this chair. Okay. I'm glad that she made me do that because the breakdown of the post-chorus was actually also very sick. Yeah, you're 2 for 2. Let's go with the third song. It worked really well. Like, that was kind of a mashup, but, I mean, apparently I'd also heard this song before, and I just forgot because I'm bad at remembering names of songs, even though it's my freaking job. I don't know if I've heard this version. I just know the Beatles version, unfortunately. That was pretty. I like some jazz. I like some cool jazz. That's what that was. I can definitively say this is better than the Beatles version of that song. You know what? Actually, come at me, Paul McCartney. I'm saying it right now. Come at me, Paul McCartney. I have heard this, and it's a jam. So yeah, first submission, 5 for 5. Thank you, Ashley, for being the first victim of rating your playlists. And back to you, Robin from the future.
If you want me to rate your playlist, send it my way at gross.robin.d@gmail.com. It's Black History Month, and this year, we want to spotlight a new boundary-pushing black artist each week. This week's spotlight is Moses Sumney, a singer-songwriter known for his inventive mix of indie rock, R&B, and electronic music. Sumney's voice can be easily identified by his distinctive falsetto and buttery smooth vibrato. While he's been putting out music since 2014, he gained a new level of notoriety after releasing the sprawling double album Grey in 2020. With the help of Thundercat, James Blake, and many other talented musicians, Sumney blew the minds of fans and critics alike with an album that stays consistently beautiful no matter what instruments or genres it delves into. What new music do you want to see covered next on Bear News Tunes? Let us know at bearnews98@gmail.com or find us on Instagram at bearnewsunco.
I know what new music I'll be listening to this weekend. Want to watch something but have no idea what to put on? Find out some of our show suggestions right after this.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Those 9 months were also 273 days of planning. What about your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. And let's not forget those barbecues we planned in detail for nourishing your family is the best plan you can make.
Are you tired of wanting to watch something but end up aimlessly scrolling, hoping to find something that grabs your interest? Today on Bear News, we're going to give you some suggestions for the newest bingeable shows available for you to watch this week. On Wednesday, Hulu released a new series following the whirlwind romance story that was Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee. Actress Lily James and MCU star Sebastian Stan bring the iconic power couple to screen as the series dives into their iconic and dramatic relationship. Over on Disney Plus, the first season of The Book of Boba Fett wrapped up this week as producer Jon Favreau and director Robert Rodriguez tells the story of the galaxy's most dangerous bounty hunter, nearly 40 years after his debut in George Lucas's original trilogy. Temuera Morrison stars as the titular character and is joined by an all-star cast of actors and plenty of galactic cameos. HBO Max's newest hit show, Euphoria, has been crushing the charts week after week as the Zendaya-led drama series continues to captivate audiences in its second season. Focusing on difficult topics like trauma, drugs, and friendships, the show has faced some controversy but continues to receive praise for its cinematography, story, and intense characters. With the final 3 episodes, the season 2 premiering in the next few weeks, fans of the show are eager to see what happens next. Have you watched any of these shows yet? Let us know what series or movies we should be on the lookout for in the upcoming weeks by DMing us on Instagram at BearNewsUNCO. A new smoky and savory restaurant makes its way to Greeley this week. Georgia Boys Barbecue opened its newest and largest location on Tuesday at the former location of Rudy's Barbecue. Owners Matt Alexander and Nick Reckinger are 2 Georgia natives that brought their love of barbecue to the Midwest. They opened their first Georgia Boys in Longmont in 2011 and the other in Frederick in 2014. The restaurant's menu features a plethora of smoked meats, signature sandwiches, and mouth-watering appetizers. It also offers a kids menu and select vegan alternatives like the Impossible Burger. Aside from the food, Georgia Boys also offers a full bar with a one-of-a-kind beer list and handcrafted cocktails. The restaurant also features a retail section where guests can bring home their favorite rub, barbecue sauce, or shirt. Georgia Boys is located next to Texas Roadhouse on 28th Street and is open from 11 to 9 during the week and until 10 on the weekends. And for those who are feeling particularly hungry, you can attempt the Barnyard Challenge. The challenge features a gargantuan barbecue sandwich stuffed with pork, brisket, chicken, bacon, and melted cheese, encompassed by a mammoth portion of fries and 6 ghost pepper wings. Altogether, the Barnyard weighs in at 4 pounds. So the next time you go out to eat, try Georgia Boys Barbecue for your next savory meal. Farmers markets are not a typical occurrence this time of year, but Zoe's Cafe is home to the Winter Greeley Market. The fresh produce to soaps and crafts, there are goodies and for everybody's taste. Not only are there many treats you can buy, you can also grab a cup of coffee or tea from Zoe's Coffee Bar while you listen to some live music. The Winter Market is set up every first and third Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon. The event itself is free to attend and vendor. Here at Bear News, we like to celebrate students that go above and beyond here at UNC. This week's featured student of the week is Dino Degotardi. Degotardi is an international student athlete from the UNC golf team from Noosa, Queensland, Australia. Degotardi is majoring in sports administration with a minor in business. On the golf team, Degotardi is a team player and has played in every event this past semester. In Degotardi's free time, he likes to hang out with his close friends and watch all sports, even cricket. If you have a friend you'd like to recognize on Bear News, please send it in to us on the email on screen. Thanks for watching Bear News. I'm Andrea Grajeda, and we'll see you Tuesday for Bear News Now. Up next